Going in. Hello, my name is Mark Monlux, and you are joining us on Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is a weekly drawing group. We've been around for about 5 or 6 years. Long before the pandemic started, we were meeting online, usually via Google Hangouts, and when that went away, we switched over to Zoom. And I'm getting an echo in my ears from, there we go. I was getting a 30-second delay of the recording from YouTube. Anyway, if you'd like to join us, we meet every Monday at 4:30. There is a sign up via the link below. Also, you can go to our Facebook page, Epic Sketch Time, and there's a sign up list there. We send out an email notice with the link, usually the day before or the morning of. And by order of appearance, people introduce yourself. Roger is first.
Hi there, hi there. My name is Roger Crown, a Spokane, Washington cartoonist and animator. Hi. Thanks.
Bill, you're next.
I am Bill Morse. I'm an illustrator and cartoonist working out of Seattle, Washington, and I also do a webcomic called Rhapsodies.
Katie, you're next.
Hi, I am Katie C, and I am from Bonnie Lake, Washington, and I'm here drawing my tarot card. I have started an Instagram for my tarot series called Ambivalent Tarot. So if you want to follow me as I put this tarot card deck together, you're more than welcome. I also draw other stuff on here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a suggestion for you. If you're looking at creating a little glow around the moon, oh, it looks like you've got a special brush that you're using with little wispies. That's nice. Which brush tip is that? Oh, and you're doing it on a separate layer, I'm assuming? Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Oh, and you're changing the opacity. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, cool. I've used the one right above it for Starry Nights a few times. Oh, and if you have the share on.
Oh, I just was corrected by Roger that we do not meet on Mondays. We meet on Tuesdays. Thank you for that correction, Roger. I appreciate that. What were you saying, Bill?
If you have the share on, I'd like to show off little something I was playing with yesterday.
Give me a moment, Bill, and I'll turn it on. Share is now on.
Okay. There. I'm calling it an alien environment.
That looks interesting.
I was sort of trying to I've been looking at a couple of sort of these alternate evolution illustrators, and I was trying to come up with something that wasn't even remotely Earth-like.
Well, the creature, I can tell that we're looking at the back of its head, but it's only because I know you and how you draw, because what I'm really seeing is a bat sitting on top of something.
Okay.
Instead of a head. So I know that know what your intention is. I'm kind of curious, Raj, when you look at that, do you see the head easily, or do you see like a bat sitting on top of a body? What's your thought?
Exactly. Two different animal types.
Okay. I was sort of going with something vaguely weasel shaped with moth antenna, but
Well, I think you can keep the antenna, just color the head the same color as the fur on the shoulders. I think part of it is that black line you have that differentiates between the head and the shoulders.
okay.
And I can understand that choice as well, but right now the colors are so different from each other. I know you got the color going in the tail and you got the color in the forepaws, which is why I was able to pull it together. But my first read was not of one unit.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that tail.
And you got some great glows going on in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice.
Okay. This.
I'm working on something on my monitor, but you can't really see it easily for this. I'm working on a deck of playing cards. These are the alien ones, and I'm formatting in the text.
What do you mean formatting? Into the same program or from a different program?
By formatting, I mean there's a spot at the top and at the bottom of the card that has the name of the movie, and it's a template. There, can you see it right? You can see that there's a little bit of text up here and a little bit of text down here,
All right.
but it's different for each card.
Oh,
So to complete the formatting, I am on each layer that there's another card. I'm having to copy and paste the text in.
right.
But you know, there's 52 card decks, and I have to do it twice, and then I have to double check the layers to make sure the layers are appropriately turned on and off, and it just and this is in the Hearts deck. I got a Word document with all my
Okay, so how many have you gotten done so far?
all the artwork for the base artwork for all the cards is completed, but I have to create the templates and that the cards are going to fall into.
Right, right.
So I'm about halfway through the Hearts right now, and then I'll go and I did the spades, did the hearts. So I'm not even halfway with this particular little task. And then I have to create a frame that will hide the artwork. I've decided to have consistent backgrounds for each suit of cards. So I'm importing in the artwork as PNG files. Then I have to convert them over to CMYKs because that's what the printing process is going to be.
Right.
But before I do that, I need to double check with the printer to see whether or not that is still something that hasn't changed in the 3 years since I did my last deck of cards. So right now I'm just working with the text.
So is there like a deadline to this or not?
No, this is a background. This is my own project. I've been working on this thing for years.
Yeah. So where are you going to sell them?
The same place I sell my current deck of playing cards at comic book conventions. But
Oh,
mainly I'm planning, I sold a third of my inventory from my last deck of cards via my Kickstarter campaign. So I'm planning on doing that again and then have an inventory that's completely paid for conventions. Since it's a new deck, my returning client, I have people that will buy anything I put out there, I just haven't put anything out there in a while. They're rabid. They'll definitely buy anything I give
Right,
them.
right. So how many decks of this new edition are you going to put out? 10, 20?
Oh, no, a 1,000.
1,000 decks? Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, the more you order, the lower the per price unit. If I only printed out 10 decks by this company, I would be paying $60 per unit. What I'll do is, because their minimum run is, depending on how many you print, the price per unit goes down. So I want my
Right,
price per unit to be about $2.50. Well, the only way to get that down is by buying 1,000 of them, which
Right,
means
right.
that
And
I
then
need to have a
resell them for
Kickstarter.
And then we sell them for like $5 a deck or 10 or whatever.
15.
Oh, okay.
It's but there's also the workload in producing this, you know, takes me 1 hour to do the black and white, usually 2 or 4 hours to color one of those pieces, times that by 54. Then I'm taking the time that to do this formatting. This is taking hours. So, you know, there is production time involved. A lot of people, when they make a deck of cards, they only change the major suits, like the king, queen, jack, and ace, and they just do basic numbers for 2 through 10. But I think that's a bit of a cop out.
Right, I do too.
So right now I'm typing in the text for the brain from planet Eros.
I don't know if I've seen that one, or is it?
You have not seen the brain from planet Eros?
I know I've not seen the movie, but I said I don't remember if I saw that particular image.
It's a giant floaty brain. Not to be confused with the one I already did for my current deck of cards called The Brain. Oddly enough, there's a lot of floaty brains out there in horror movies.
I was thinking of the one from the Fiend Folio, the one that TSR did. I forget what it's called, but it's a eyeless brain with a beak and tentacles.
No, that's not this one. The brain from planet Eros has a couple of pupilless glowing eyes in it, kind of down by the brainstem. Oh, and also has sort of like a dangly brainstem thing, like the string on a balloon coming off. It's from 1957.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I have it on my tablet. Let's see. Some of them I was doing in Word and some of them I did on the tablet. The project went very quickly once I got my iPad.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
let's see if I can find it. But I think that's one of the few that I did before I got my tablet.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't get you, even over after almost a year of it, I still have the culture shock of just how much of a time difference it is. I mean, that picture I just showed you was just over an hour.
Yeah, I'm really very happy with Procreate. So there's an old 1981 movie called Possession. Didn't get a lot of play because it's a difficult movie to wrap a person's head around. And there are long periods of just screaming and wailing that makes the adults just look like their kids having a tantrum at the candy store. And but there was a remastering done of it, and so the local theaters putting it up in November. And I'm thinking about doing a tarot themed poster for it.
Huh.
And I'm thinking about using what is it? It's the card that has a man, woman, and child in like a floating coffin and or boat with a large sun over the top of it.
Is that Judgment? Is that the
Is-
Judgment card?
Is that Judgment? Oh
I-
man, I'm gonna have to look up at my deck of cards now just to find out.
For some reason, I want to say it's Judgment, and then the coffin thing is resurrection. It's symbol for resurrection, but let me look.
And I thought I would have it upside down.
Yeah, it's actually, I think you're like fusing the Judgment card and the Sun card together.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking. This is a deck I've had since the 80s. They don't make this
No.
deck anymore.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that I don't know about the okay, that is a coffin. It's the picture I'm seeing is a picture of what's probably Gabriel standing over people rising from what looks like the graveyard, but there's a man, child, and woman in the foreground.
Okay. It's got to be in here. I'm not finding it. Oh, you are right, Katie. It is Judgment. It wasn't a sun over their heads. It was a trumpet or a French horn with a big red cross in it. This is. Oh,
Yeah, the picture I saw was an angel with a trumpet, so I'm assuming it's the angel Gabriel, but
Hmm.
So to change the subject regarding your big puzzle, Mark,
Yes.
is it for sale or what exactly?
It will be for sale eventually. I'll probably have it done via a print-on-demand service. And the cost per unit will probably be pretty steep because of that. The print-on-demand for a big puzzle by Redbubble's like $50 right now.
yeah.
Okay, so it'll cost us about 75 to maybe 100.
No, it'll I think for people who order it, it might run, with shipping, it might run $60. Because I'm not planning on making much of a profit on it.
Yeah.
Well, I am trying to decide if I want to use that card or not. I'm going to have to take a look at another tarot deck to see. I love this tarot deck. It's the Morgan Greer tarot card. And the look of it is just I love the feel of it. It's based, the artwork is very similar to most tarot decks you would see, with most of the symbology in line. But there's almost a slight woodcut feel to it. And the artwork has a very uh, 80s feel to it. Oh. Keep finding another card in the deck, in the box.
I wasn't sure if you saw, this was my version of the judgment card.
Ah, yes, I have with the flip.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. That's why I was like, I kind of, I might have to redo it now since no one appreciates the wolffish but me.
What? I love it. But it doesn't follow the symbolism enough for other people.
I just don't think people appreciate how fabulous the wolffish looks. And so when they see it, they're just kind of like, oh, I think you messed that fish's face up. And it's like, no, this is what the wolffish looks like, which is why they are such an amazing fish. But yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, they I think I don't know. I'm still, like I said, I'm mostly just doing puppies and kittens right now. With the tarot card, that seems to be the most appealing. But I like your concept. Your concept sounds amazing. I'm trying to figure out how to draw dog butts right now.
Dog butt?
For this for this card, I'm like, these little dog legs do not look right, and their little butts, their heads, I think I've gotten their heads down pretty good.
Yes.
But their butts, not so much. I was actually trying to get Tim to get the girls up on their hind legs so I could study their butts so I could draw them.
Well, make sure you get those anal glands in there.
Oh,
No, I pay someone so I'd never have to think about anal glands.
Really?
Oh, yes, no.
I had a Great Dane, and it was something I did on a weekly basis with him.
Oh,
Because
gosh.
You don't want an anal gland that big going off on you.
Oh, I'm
at
sure
the-
not.
Yeah. And it's easy enough to do.
Well, I was told that if you get the oil on your hands or your clothing, that you can't get it off. And it smells horrible. But
Okay.
yeah.
One, yes, it does smell. It does smell bad, but no, you can get it off. It comes off like any bad smelling thing does.
Okay.
And if you have a paper towel ready, you can just pretty much shoot her straight into that, and that's pretty much it. Quick washing of your hands later. You're done. Yes, that's just what people want to tune in for, conversations about anal glands.
Mhm.
I think if people actually listen to this, they and watch us, they're probably very interesting people to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say that.
Going back to films briefly, has everybody seen Dune yet?
Yes.
No,
Oh, no. Well, I have.
Cool.
I'm waiting for it to be on HBO Max.
It is on HBO Max.
That's how I
Well-
watched it.
Well, then I am just lax, but I have not seen it yet. And that's
We
like
enjoyed
that's
it.
a 3-hour commitment, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. We had to take an intermission and let the dogs out. It was funny, but yeah, they couldn't handle sitting on the couch for that long. Um, so yeah, we took a little intermission, but now I really want to watch the David Lynch version
You
real
haven't
bad.
seen the David Lynch version?
I have, I just haven't seen it in a while, so I want to see it just to enjoy it, you
Have
know.
you seen the who did the series? There was another, I think Sci-Fi did a
It
series.
was
Yes,
sci-fi. I forget who the creator was.
I can't remember
As
either.
far
I've
as-
seen some parts of that, but not all of it.
I mean, as far as talent was concerned, the only guy I remember is William Hurt, who played Duke Leodo Atreides. I liked the guy who played Harkonnen. He's the same person who played the town crier in Rome.
Hmm.
I haven't watched Rome.
Oh, you have? That's a shame. Rome is awesome. I remember what really sold me on it when I first started watching it was, even though I had not heard his name being mentioned, though admittedly, after watching it a second time, his name had been mentioned before, but without his name being mentioned, I recognized Kato.
Hmm. I believe I saw the sci-fi version, but yes, I have seen the David Lynch version a couple times and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm,
I want to draw Patrick Stewart holding the little
Holding
pug.
the pug and going into battle.
Yes, like I just don't know that I'm ready for that. But I that's like my favorite scene in the whole movie. I think it's a lot of people's, but
Now,
um
did you know that when David Lynch hired Patrick Stewart for that show, the movie, and he showed up, David Lynch was really disappointed
why?
because he thought he was hiring a different Patrick Stewart.
What?
He didn't realize that there were two actors named Patrick Stewart, and he wanted the other guy, but they said, his agent said, "Oh yeah, we got a hold of Patrick Stewart and he's on board." I said, "Okay, awesome." And then Patrick Stewart shows up, and David looks at him and goes, "Ah, man, pull the boner."
Oh my
And
gosh.
Patrick Stewart loves telling people about that.
That is a good piece of knowledge. I don't know. I feel like this version is like the Hollywood sci-fi version that this generation needs, I guess. I had not really thought of it, but Tim said he felt like the current version, the Lynch version is kind of bizarro. And I was like, I really didn't think of it as bizarro, but I guess you're right.
I love the David Lynch version. I thought it was great.
yeah, I really like. Well, at least I like the first half of it. The world building and visuals are fantastic. I like the costume design.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tim likes bizarro, so it's a compliment. I just didn't think it, but it was David Lynch too, so
Not someone you imagine doing
no, not really.
what was the name of the documentary um, of the other director who wanted to do?
Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that documentary. The artwork in that is just phenomenal.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Who here has seen a movie called Bad Taste?
That's the Peter Jackson one, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know of it. I've never had the courage.
I'm trying to, you would have to tell me the premise. I don't know.
it was one of his early films. I'm trying to remember if he did it before or after Meet the Feebles.
Was this the zombie one that was filmed in New Zealand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I saw it. I don't know if I'm supposed to admit that though.
I liked it,
Okay.
but then I like schlocky horror movies. Not to be confused with Dead Alive, which was also a zombie movie filmed in New Zealand that he had a hand in, and a cameo.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Oh, well then, did you also go for the trifecta? Not a Peter Jackson film, but this wonderful film called Rabid Grannies.
Oh, I've
Oh
not
my-
even heard of that one.
I would have to look. I think I've seen that. You have to remember, I've seen a lot of zombie fiction. I'll have to look this up.
I enjoyed Rabid Grannies. It was very much like Dead Alive.
That's what, yes, I did see this. I was like, I gotta look this up. Oh, there's a Rabid Grannies too.
Okay,
What?
now I'm curious. I haven't seen Rabid.
Oh my gosh, we were talking about David Lynch. Didn't was it his daughter or it had something to do with him, and it had this kind of like mid-90s teen star in it, Anna Lynn McCord. It was like a horror movie. It just was like painful to watch.
I think you're
Excision.
thinking of David Carradine's daughter.
I don't know. Well, the name of the movie is Excision.
Incision?
No, Excision. Excision. A disturbed and delusional high school student with aspirations of a career in medicine goes to extremes to earn the approval of her controlling mother. Who directed
Okay,
this?
I don't think I've seen that one.
This movie was kind of painful to watch. It was Richard Bates, but why is David Lynch's name coming into my brain with this movie?
Maybe they
There's-
shared a coffee. As far as
I don't know. I'll have to look at somehow or another they got David Lynch and his name is in here somewhere. I don't know. It's kind of funny. This one medication I'm on, I'm like, I'm going to tell my doctor I really just need to get off of it because my ability to remember useless trivia is almost completely gone. Oh my God. Let me see.
Lord knows you need that skill.
Well, it's helped me a lot in life. There were times in my
I
life.
think that recalling random details is a necessary skill.
Yeah, but they're usually useless unless you're wanting to use them in conversation. Oh gosh. Okay, never mind. I'll find it later. I'll bring it up next week if I remember. No promises.
Speaking of, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Speaking of medication, my doctor lowered mine. So woohoo.
Yay!
Yeah, I take different types of medication, not because I have high blood pressure, but they lower my blood one of the side effects is they lower my blood pressure, but they're a form of beta blockers because of I got a bad heart. And well, it's still working, so it's not that bad. But I was complaining of, but I had a very successful ablation some months ago, and I've been feeling great since then. So, yay! They decided to lower the medication down, which is good
Great.
because I was pretty much maxing out on it. And in my old age, I'll probably have to max out on it in the future. But now, if I can lower it, all the better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It's always a good thing.
Do I hear one of your cats in the background?
No, it's a siren on, sounds like Roosevelt.
Oh,
I thought it was your cat too. It sounded like a cat.
Yeah. No, I do not have a cat, and while I've heard the stories of what Siamese sound like, I think that otherwise.
so I was reminded how to say kitten today in Japanese.
Huh.
So to say cat,
Coco.
neko is cat,
Mhm.
and inu is dog. So if you want to make them into the younger form, you add ko in front of it. So it'd be ko
Oh.
neko and ko inu.
Oh, I was half
Oh.
right. I put it on the end, and I was guessing and put it on the end.
So you learned 2 words today. I've been really enjoying refreshing my Japanese with an app called Duolingo. Not a paid endorsement, but Duolingo, if you're listening, contact me. I'll definitely pump you around.
It's like I would be happy to do a paid endorsement for you. Not a problem. Not above being an influencer. Not at all.
So I just saw a movie trailer for a Charles Bronson-esque type movie. I don't know how many of you guys watch a lot of Charles Bronson movies.
I've watched a handful of his westerns, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
No, it's sort of like if Charles Bronson was still around and Bruce Willis wasn't, then he probably would have been in Die Hard. But he's
Oh.
got this, big old 70s porn mustache and this long black hair that's straight and parted to the side. And I swear to God, this movie's called The Gardener. And the guy they hired, they're putting makeup on him, or he looks just like Charles Bronson.
Oh, wow.
And to the point where I'm kind of going, is this a really old Charles Bronson? Am I not aware of it? I thought Charles Bronson was dead. Matter of fact, I gotta take a look.
I think
Because,
he is dead, but
yeah, I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he died sometime in the mid-90s.
Maybe his career dead, but
he could have retired too.
I'm taking a look, looking him
Some
up on.
actors
This is
do
why we have
retire.
Internet Movie Database. No, he died in 2003.
Oh,
Very
dang.
late 90s.
Yeah, I was about to say, Bill. Extremely late 90s.
I am just not getting this right. It's okay.
It looks like he was 82.
It's funny. I was talking to my mother today, and we were talking about like quality of life and age, and um, she was like, I feel like I may only have about 15 more years of good quality of life left. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I was like worried about her. And then I realized that, well, in 15 years, she'll be 75. So she might be right that she will have some mobility issues by the time she's 75. It just didn't seem like she could be that close to that age. But your parents are, how old are your parents?
Mine,
Mark, yours are
um,
in their 80s, right?
my dad is 92
Oh, wow.
and my mom is 85.
Okay.
And I'm fine. And the name of this actor is Robert Bronzy. And honest to God, he looks just like Charles Bronson. And it looks like he's done 3 other movies before The Gardener, and they're all Charles Bronson-esque movies or knockoffs thereof. Like I'm looking at Cry Havoc, and it looks like it's a oh my God, it looks like it's a Friday the 13th knockoff. With if you were to match Friday the 13th with Charles, oh my God, this is hilarious. Okay, really bad horror movies on my list to watch.
Now, what was
And they
his
even
last
make
name?
him look like Charles Bronson on the movie posters. Oh my God.
Charles Bronzy? Bron
No, his Robert Bronzy.
Bronzy.
Bronzy. And if you look at him on Internet Movie Database, he stars in a movie not called Death Wish, but called Death Kiss. And this other one called Escape from Death Block 13.
Yeah, I see. Okay, I see him now. Okay, you're right. He does. Though it says he's Hungarian,
Yeah,
but I believe wasn't Charles Bronson Hungarian or was he Polish?
I don't know. Let's check out Charles Bronson because this
Maybe
is what we
they're
do.
like cousins or something,
I
like
don't-
long.
I don't think so. Well, let's take a look.
His name is Buczynski. So he Lithuanian. He was actually Lithuanian. They do look very similar.
Let's see. Charles Bronson, born Charles Brukinski, one of 15 children in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. He had Lithuanian heritage.
but they're obviously trying. And when you listen to him act, he's trying to sound like him too. So,
Hey, whatever you got to do to make a living.
hey, I'm all for it.
Charles
I-
Bronson don't care.
And I want to see. I really want to see The Gardener. Yeah. Oh, there's a whole genre of movies of the ex-military serving in undercapacity who then comes up and takes on the bad guy.
Hmm.
And let's see, Steven Seagal did that. He was a chef on a train. Let's see, what's another one that did that? button. Then there's the fatal femme combination where you have a movie where the woman just kicks ass all the way through the film.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say femme fatale, I said fatal femme because kills everybody. There's a movie called Ultraviolet,
Yep.
which is a pristine example of that. And then you get ones that are kind of like crossovers, like the vampire one that was would have been Blood Rain.
Yeah, because Ultraviolet, I always think of the BBC vampire show, but
Bill, do we have a guild thing that we have to switch over to at 5:30?
nothing that I'm aware of, no.
No Western region thing?
No.
Okay. Then we can give ourselves 5 more minutes.
I have to go to Costco and get my dog's arthritis medication as soon as we get off of here.
Do you use Rimadyl?
I think that's it. It's also called carboprofen, like the generic version of it. I think they're
That
the
stuff
same.
is magical. My Great Dane, when he started having aching hips, well, as soon as I started giving him Rimadyl, I would order it online because it just wasn't being carried anywhere else. And I bought a subscription to a vet pharmacy on the East Coast, so I could get it relatively inexpensively. But I think I only spent like $75 a day on him to keep him. Oh, that stuff just did magic for his limbs.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not cute because I feel bad that they hurt, but yeah, Haley is just like, I'm staying in my kennel because something's biting me. Like she's just like, because of the weather, she's coming up on her 16th birthday in February. So yeah, her little joints, well, not little, she's 75 pounds, but yeah, the weather is not kind to her as kind to her as it used to be. But I feel like every day we have her is a blessing because 16 is old for a puppy. You guys are going to have to teach me how to be a much more efficient artist, I swear. But I feel like because I'm still learning so much of just how to handle myself, make things work, shapes, shading.
Oh, I don't knock yourself for learning. Don't knock yourself ever for drawing stuff or spending a lot of time on it. I mean, the only time I knock myself for spending time on projects is when other people are paying me and I know that they have a deadline and I have to get it done within a certain time frame. But otherwise, I love to draw highly detailed stuff that would never pay the bills.
Right.
And then my wife finally convinced me to go back to cartooning because I could do it quicker.
I do think that's one of the issues too for me is, I want to, especially with this tarot card series, I want to get the cards done. You know how you were talking about, like, basically the suites are the ones where people spend their time and their effort. And then, the number cards, and that's, basically I was reading the history of tarot and, they took basically they're built off the same thing. And in Italy is where the tarot originated as we know it today. And so it's, but I don't want to half-ass anything or half-butt anything. And so it's like, I'm like, what is that going to look like? Am I going to have like two, like the cups and maybe definitely the swords have to be cats, you know, because of the claws. It's like, do you do individual, just very unique cards, or do you kind of make them more generic because they're not the major arcana?
Well,
Because all of that takes time, you know?
yeah. Well, I like how when I look at this one deck that I have, he still did a nice job putting them in an arrangement within a scene. He always built a scene to have them in. And I thought
Okay.
the extra effort of creating a scene to put them in, a scene that had meaning, even if it was something simple like shelves. Shelves have a certain meaning, as opposed, he could have just had them on a desk, which would have had a different meaning. So, but no, he put these cups on, and then other ones, he stacked the cups on top of each other's, and other ones, he had cups around a plate. And I just like, I think that you can do arrangements and not spend too much time on them, but certainly much better than just taking one figure and just duplicating it over and over and over again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you start getting 10, you know, when you get like 10 things in a scene, like 10 wheels, that's a lot of wheels. You gotta put them in there somehow.
Right.
It's going to be a bunch of wheels, regardless how you look at it.
Yeah.
Well, folks, it is 5:30. I want to thank everyone for joining me for another hour of wonderful drawing here on Epic Sketch Time. I've been watching Roger draw a person waving their arm. I've been enjoying watching Katie draw her dogs minus anal glands. Good luck with the butts.
Thanks.
Bill, thank you for showing off that illustration of Another Planet.
Thank you. No problem.
See you guys all next